It has officially begun, ladies and gentlemen. It was only a matter of time. I've been waiting to kind of, make videos about these roster changes. When was this going to start? When was this stuff going to start? We all thought it was going to start with Envious, but instead, it actually starts off with Complexity. Now, guys, we had some insane changes going on with Complexity. Only one change that we know of as of yet, and we can most likely assume that'll be the only change that they make heading into the regular season. But Complexity has officially released Parasite in place of Goonjar, who was previously on the roster known as Team Caliber. Now, obviously, the free agents that we were looking at through the regular season, I'll go and pop them up on your screen really quickly. Goonjar was one of those guys listed. He was definitely one of the top 5 players who I was assuming would most likely at least be in the conversation of being picked up by a certain league team. We had players like Goonjar, we still have players like Neslo, we have Apathy, who hasn't yet made his decision as of yet right now, and that decision could be coming up very shortly. But just still, though, this change to me was not expected. I mean, everyone who was kind of thinking of the roster changes coming with Complexity, I was definitely thinking of them, was targeting toward Nameless, which in some cases made a lot of sense. So you get rid of, not necessarily your weakest player, but at least as far as KD ratio, doesn't actually consist of, because Goonjar was pretty high, or excuse me, Nameless is actually pretty high. They were kind of thinking, do we get rid of this guy because of our overall chemistry? Well, it seems that might have not actually been the case. Parasite gets released. Honestly, a very smart player, very diabolical. At least in my opinion, probably one of the best search and destroy players that coL has ever had. Obviously, as it stands for right now, Parasite, I believe, is a free agent as far as we know. I believe he ended up tweeting out that he is a free agent and has been officially dropped from Complexity. And it was actually funny enough, because I had saw Goonjar had actually followed one of the statisticians or something like that for Complexity. I was like, that's a little bit interesting. And then I went to check their website, literally like 30 seconds after I refreshed their website, I saw that they had actually made the announcement. So it's kind of like, back to back, these things were getting ready to happen. So for those who don't know, the regular Complexity roster will now consist of the following, being Nameless, Ricky, Miracles, and Goonjar, just to kind of clarify things. So as far as this roster will go, it'll most likely be Miracles, of course, being the main sub. It'll be at times Ricky, depending on the map, going from an AR to a sub player as well. And you'll have Nameless and Goonjar to be the main ARs for this team. Now, honestly, I think this is a really good team. I'm not taking anything away. I'm not going to say, oh, this team got better, this team got worse, because honestly, I really don't know at this point, because we haven't seen this team play yet. But yeah, everything kicks off for right now, and this is when you're going to start to see roster changes go down. The organizations have seen, they're already starting to release stuff. We might as well too, and especially with the league being, only a week away. It's still pretty surprising. And there might have been a couple people who were a little bit curious as to why, Goonjar will leave the Team Caliber squad. Essentially, and to be honest with you, every team that's not in the league right now is technically a free agent. If you ask anyone from Team Caliber, if you ask anyone who was on CLG, if you ask anyone who was on Team Liquid, and so on and so forth, even C9 Eclipse, they are going to take the spot. The Call of Duty World League Stage 2 means even more now. Like I said in previous videos, the Stage 1 was bad enough in some cases because there was nothing else besides that. At least if you weren't in Stage 1, you had an opportunity to get in Stage 2. Well, now there's not exactly an opportunity. It's like you're in Stage 2 or bust type of situation, and you're kind of building up to COD champs. And honestly, I mean, it'd be not dumb, but it would still be kind of interested to see. And I doubt we'll see any teams kind of form for COD champs, at least for right now. So along with that, I will also have the link down in the description to Complexity's article. Feel free to give it a read. Kind of just go a little bit more in depth, not really too much in depth, but just kind of give a little bit of a background on Goonjar and his history and stuff like that. But honestly, in my opinion, I think Complexity still looks pretty good. I think honestly they added a very talented AR. To their lineup, and that could be also kind of freeing up Nameless, not necessarily have to do the dirty work, because in a lot of the times people were kind of complaining and saying, Nameless just doesn't really know how to run the that AR role correctly. He just doesn't seem to be doing his correct role. And then having Goonjar, a very established AR, the guy's been playing an AR role for the longest time, and honestly to have that kind of AR presence where Nameless can kind of be freed up, I think is really going to help the team a lot. I think one negative that kind of comes from leaving Parasite and having him kind of be thrown off to the side, in my opinion, I think Parasite still brings a good positive attitude a lot of the time, but he also does have a little bit of negatives to himself as well. You have to kind of keep that and put that in consideration. But I think Parasite's a very smart player. I think he's a very methodical player. And I think in just a little bit of ways, Complexity does lose that edge where they're now trying to focus their keys on slaying rather than just trying to methodically get their way through games, which I think adding a new slaying presence to them is exactly what they needed. Now, of course, like I said earlier, I don't think, at least in my opinion, I wasn't assuming that Parasite would be the player to be dropped, but it seems that he has been, and he will be a free agent heading into Stage 2 and just trying to find a team. And who knows if he'll actually find a team? That's going to be the question. I mean, what roster would really look for a player like Parasite? That'll remain to be seen. But yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this change. Do you guys think it's a positive change? Were you expecting it? Do you guys think this will kind of affect them negatively? And do you also think that Parasite could find a team for Season 2? Let me know down that in the comments below. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I wanted to bring you guys a little bit of a quick news update kind of regarding what's going on with Roster Mania. If you guys want to subscribe, make sure to do that for future videos, and I'll be uploading these as soon as Roster Mania begins to keep going on and when stuff does continue. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video yet again. Like I said, guys, make sure to like if you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you all later. Have a great day, Peace out.